Hey, GlitchTechs! This is Captain Yeet here for you for another GlitchTechs episode review. This is going to be Season 2, Episode 10, titled BITT Prime. So, let's get into it. So, this episode starts off with a ton of with a ton of kids playing around in the park, and the camera pans into the sewers, and it's Miko and Five chasing this little spawner gleeks. Anyway, Five is like, man, sewer levels in games are really cool, but whew, the real thing, this place stinks. Miko says to be careful and to make sure you hit your shot, because if you miss, this thing is a spawner glitch. And Five like, what does that have to do with anything? What happens if I miss? He slips and falls, he misses, and then that little glitch monster duplicates itself. That's why. And then both little monsters start to shoot like these blasts at both of them. They take cover. Five calls BITT. He goes, yo, we're going to need some tech support. And BITT goes, please hold on a second. And Miko's like, what the? BITT never does us a hold on. What's going on? I guess we're going to have to deal with this ourselves. So Miko says, we're going to need a plan, Fiver. Five looks around, and he goes, use like the grates. So they change their emitters, grab a ton of grates off the wall, box them in, and then shoot them, kill them, and then take their glicks. And we get this really cool team shot. And then Miko says, wow, I really had that covered. Anyway, Five goes, wait a second, Miko, where did you get the, the lids and covers that you just used? Here's a really cool team shot I was talking about. And here's the version without fire. Really nice. And she goes, oh, I just used those two grate covers over there on that big pipe that says do not remove. And the cartoon is a little arrow moving side to side. Oh. Anyway, yeah, that huge tube was blocking off with the lid that Miko just took off a bunch of slime and gunk and stuff. So it starts to rush out, and now they're running away. BITT calls back. He goes, okay, GlitchTechs, now I can assist you. What do you need? Five like, we need an instant exit now. So I'm thinking, BITT is going to make like a portal open up so they can jump through. No, he's going to give them directions to the fastest way to get out of there. So BITT, he starts taking too long to give them directions. So Miko says, go left. So they go left, but as soon as they do, BITT goes, well, the fastest way to get out of here is to go to the right. Uh-oh. They do actually jump out of the sewer, but as soon as they jump out, all the gunk and slime actually catches up with them and just goes all over them. And obviously they're like, this is disgusting. Man, this XP was not worth it. And there was a ton of gunk on Miko's hair. She just flips her hair to the side and all that gunk flies on Five. Then Five got most of the gunk off of him, and then just a ton more just got on them. That was pretty funny. After that, they go to GlitchTech HQ. And while they're there, BITT is taking all these calls, and then he starts to freeze up. And Phil's like, oh no, come on, don't do this to me again. And Miko and Five walks in, they go, yo, Phil, what's going on? What's the matter with BITT? He goes, well, he's just slow and clunky, and he keeps freezing up on me. This thing is ridiculous. And then BITT starts to argue back to Phil, and Miko's like, aw, you two like an old married. I'm done. Because Phil starts looking a little mad. He goes, if you freeze up on me one more time, I'm going to decommission you and get a new, fresher model. And then, wait, my bad. That's not what happens. At first, BITT, he jumps into the main console so Miko and Five can upload the spawner glicks. 45-minute passed, and then that's when Phil says that because he's taking so long, because normally it doesn't take this long, and Miko and Five arms are hurting. Then he said I'm gonna decommission you. You're gonna get I'm gonna get a new model, and Miko rips BITT off of the main console. She goes, what? Phil, you can't do that. He goes, I can't hear you. And he opens up a book. He goes, I'm looking at this new catalog of new BITT robots. See you later. And he walks off screen. And then Miko looks at Five. He goes, you heard what Phil said. He's going to decommission him. Destroy him. Something bad. We can't let that happen to BITT. He's family. And then we get this beautiful animated scene of Miko just in super anime mode with a bunch of flowers in the background, and Five is looking at her like, okay. Five is like, all right. Let me help you. Well, when I used to fix computers with my dad, we used to just, remove all the memory from a computer, then it can work brand new. So Miko goes, you hear that? You hear that, BITT? Five is going to fix you up real nice and good. And then Bergie, he's still there trying to upload his glicks, and it's taking forever. So we get the theme song. After the theme song, they go to the smart room, and they hook up BITT to this huge console thing. And 5 goes, okay, once we connect all these wires, a huge hologram is going to pop up. And we're going to be able to see inside of BITT brain and delete all the files that we can. You know, if as long as it's okay for us to actually go in your brain and do this, BITT, it is okay. And BITT, he's lagging, so all he's saying is, 5 is like, is that a yes? Miko, is that a no? Uploads the connects both cables. A huge hologram pops up with his whole brain. They're like, wow, this is crazy. No wonder BITT is running so slow. There's so many things here. Miko jumps, and the way they like interpret all his memory core and every like single thing inside of his head is a ton of these different blocks everywhere. So Miko hops on one block, and it's the camera block. So they're like, wow, what is this? BITT says that his owner, Phil Archiel, kind of sounds like John. What is his last name? Arbuckle? Yeah, Arbuckle. Kind of sounds like that from Garfield. A little bit. Not like fully, but a little bit. Anyway, BITT mentions that his owner for the past 20 years has been Phil Archiel, and he hasn't deleted one file in the past 20 years. This guy is wild. So when Miko jumps onto the camera roll of BITT, we see young Phil, which is so funny. And then he took a picture like every day of his life up until now, because Miko and 5 don't understand who this guy is. And then they just keep swiping through all the pictures until eventually it comes up into the Phil that we all know and love. And they're like, what? This is Phil? Because BITT doesn't actually say his name until now. But then like the whole thing about how he had to delete a file for the last 20 years. I remember my very first time watching this, I thought that was just so funny to me. Because like young Phil was like super skinny, all happy, like yeah. And then like they swipe through all the pictures, Phil now kind of big. Like he looks like super mad. I thought that was really funny. That was a funny gag. Anyway, 5 says, okay, Phil, pop up all of the unnecessary files that we are allowed to delete inside of your head. So a bunch of blocks glow white. And then Miko goes, okay, so we know what to delete, but how do we delete them exactly? 2 hammers pop up, and she goes, yes, me likey, let's do this. So we get a montage of 5 and Miko destroying a ton of blocks, or destroying the white blocks that can't get deleted. And during this montage, there was one funny scene where Miko was just biting the block. I don't know why they had these hammers for a reason. Look at this, the right next to Miko's biting it for no reason. So they destroy a ton of them, and it gets out that much storage. So they're like, geez, man, what is taking up all this storage? And then BITT says there's one hidden file. So he opens it up, and there's a gigantic block. They go, no wonder he's moving slow. Look at this thing. Come on, let's delete it. So 5 hammers it, and then it blows them back. And it says it can't delete it because it doesn't have enough memory to delete it. Miko's like, so this thing is taking up all the memory, but it doesn't have enough memory to delete it. Okay. Alrighty then. And here's really another cool team shot. So 5's plan is like, so if we can't delete it outright, how about we open it up, chip away at it little by little until it's fully gone, or until most of it's gone, and then BITT can run smoothly again. That's a plan. So 5 goes to open. Oh wait, my bad. And also there's 3 icons on this huge block, which is a cookie, a pie, and a cake. And Miko's like, what could this thing be? I guess, I don't know, feels like favorite cookie pie cake recipes. Anyway, 5 goes to open it up, but instead of opening up the file, he actually activates the file. And a bunch of like tentacles and stuff have to pop out. They get tucked out the hologram. They're like, what's going on? BITT, he falls over, his whole screen goes black. Miko's like, no, BITT, please wake up. And then 5 grabs Miko. Come on, we gotta tell Phil. I don't know what happened. As soon as they walk out, BITT starts to reboot. And then we cut over to Phil, trying to eat a donut, and Miko and 5 walk into his office. And I'm like, you tell him. No, you tell him. And, Phil's like trying to eat a donut. What do you guys need? I'm trying to eat here. Miko goes, hey, Phil, hey, you know how you said you were going to, decombobulate, destroy, something bad BITT if he doesn't run smoothly? He goes, huh? Oh, yeah, I say that all the time, every time BITT starts to run slow. But honestly, I'm just bluffing. This place just wouldn't run without him. They're like, oh, that's sweet. And he goes, no, literally, this place would not run without him. We all be out of jobs. Oh, He goes, yeah, I mean, he opens up the catalog. He goes, yeah, all these new models are really fresh, sleek. They could probably even run faster than BITT. But all the years I put into him, I just wouldn't be the same. And they're like, aw, that's nice. And then Phil goes, so, what do you guys want again? Nothing. You're a good boss. You keep doing your thing, man. I will see you later. And they walk out. And they're like, man, this is bad. So they walk back into the room, and BITT is gone. So they walk back into the HQ where you upload like your GlitchTech stuff, well, all the glitches into the main frame, and they're like, what happened here? 'Cause there's like an alarm going off that the spawner glitch that Miko and Five tried to upload didn't fully upload. So now there's like blinking lights going off and on, and Bergie's still there to upload his file. Anyway, they're like, yo, Bergie, did you see BITT? And then he goes, yeah, he went that way. The camera pans to where he's pointing, and there's like 10 walls completely destroyed. They're like, okay, we're going to need to get BITT and bring him back here, fix him before Phil finds out. So, Bergie, you stay here. You're operations manager. You're taking BITT's job for right now. Hold down the fort. Me and Miko are going to go out there, find BITT, and bring him back. Got it? Good. That's a plan. So, Five, he turns on his gauntlet, get his outfit on. Miko, she just does this, and like her outfit comes on, and she's like, yay. I really like that. That was a really cute little animation of Miko putting her gauntlet on. Right here, Miko's like, all right, does this. Her gauntlet pops on. She's like, yay, let's do this. So they both run out. And then the spawner glitch starts to come out of the mainframe. So BITT, he's in this really big tank form running around the city. And he's looking for ingredients for cookies. Because that was the first icon on the huge block. Here's the tank form I was talking about on all four wheels, like really big and huge. Anyway, eventually he finds an ice cream truck. And he sees that, there's ingredients for cookies in there. So he grabs the guy inside, throws him out, grabs all the ingredients that he need. And then Miko and Five finds BITT, and they scan him. And BITT scans them. And BITT is like, these guys are threats to my programming. I need to get rid of them. So he starts to drive away at first. Five starts to chase after him. He shoots some ice cream at the windshield. Five spins out, hits a fire hydrant, and BITT keeps it moving. And there's a huge banana, like from a sign that fell on top of their car. Miko goes, okay, how about we split up? Get it? Five goes, ha, real funny. But okay, if I take the car, what are you going to take? The camera does like an outward shot. She's already outside the car on alley. I'm just going to wing it. So Miko's flying high in the sky while Five is driving. Okay, that's good. So we cut back over to Bergie. He's taking a ton of calls from different GlitchTechs. We hear a few different voices like Zara, her niece, Mix. And we also specifically hear him argue with Nix. Because Nix is like, what are you doing? Like, where is BITT? He goes, oh, BITT is taking a leave right now. I'm doing the operation managers. It is a real job. And then that spawner glitch came out and it starts to fight Bergie. So that's what's happening there. So we cut to the park. There is this food vendor with a ton of fruit on his cart. And apparently pies take fruit. I never had pie before. I don't know. I guess pie takes fruit. But BITT, he sees the fruit on the vendor. He goes, I need ingredients for pie now. Pie needs fruit. So he starts to take the fruit away from the vendor. The vendor's like, hey, what are you doing? Miko comes there, tries to fight BITT. Well, not actually try to fight him, tries to talk him down. But BITT does like this huge shockwave move and she gets blown back. BITT starts to drive away. Five comes out of nowhere and drifts in to box him in. But then BITT just jumps over him and keeps him moving. So then Miko jumps into the car with Five and they start to chase after him. And he also mind wiped the guy that watched everything. So we cut over to Bergie and he's fighting the spawner glitch while he's on the phone with Miko and Five. So they're like, yo, can you upload some sort of upgrade to our gauntlet so we can beat BITT? And he types on the computer, he goes, there is an EMP move, but at first, before I upload to your gauntlet, let me read the terms and conditions. And Miko on Five is like, nobody reads those. He's like, okay. So he uploads it to his file while he's fighting the spawner glitch. BITT does drop like some, what do they call it, some spikes on the ground. It pops their tires. They fly off of brigs. But they turn on the zero gravity wheels. They don't use those a lot, but these trucks do have zero gravity wheels. Turns on the zero gravity wheels, so they keep it moving. And the spawner glitch spawned and duplicated like hundreds of times. So there's like hundreds of these things looking at Bergie. And Bergie's like, uh-oh, this is bad. And at the exact same time, one of those spawning glitch monsters grabs Phil's food. Phil gets mad and puts on his like GlitchTechs outfit, and he starts to fight it off. So we cut over to Blake, the girl that works at No, see where I'm gonna get this. Last episode of season 2, I can get this. Mama Papa's or Mama Miyamoto's. There we go, Mama Miyamoto's. We get to Blake, and she's looking at BITT because BITT is in like his huge tank, like robot form from season 1, like transformer form, and he's like, I need 200 gallons of sugar for the cake, and she goes, this is a drive-through, and BITT just looks at her and transforms into a car. That was pretty funny, and she goes, oh, okay. Well, do you want to add 90 cents for some free toppings? And then BITT just starts to take the sugar anyway. I thought that was pretty funny. So Miko and Five catches up to them. Five and Miko's like, BITT, we're your friends. We're Miko. We're Five. We just want to help you. Something going on in your programming to make you go crazy and do all this stuff. We don't want to use force. Please just come back with us to HQ. And then BITT is like, no, I need to do my programming. You are interfering with my programming. And they're like, BITT, we don't want to use force, please. BITT takes all the sugar he needs, starts to drive away. So they start to chase after him. Five activates the EMP. He makes a little ball, throws it in the air. Miko shoots it, and the EMP blast goes off. And it makes BITT like just disintegrate into like a little cylinder. And it also turns off Miko and Five's gauntlet. You're like, oh no, it takes out everything. And even that car like disintegrates. I thought that was like an actual car. I didn't think that was like a GlitchTech thing, like, you know, made of the Blixels. That kind of shocked me. I didn't know that was a thing. Anyway, BITT, he completely disintegrated into this little tiny cylinder. That's actual BITT. Everything that we see is like the Blixel, like hologram hard stuff, but that's like his main power component. So Five is like, that must be his main power component. Let's take it back to HQ and try to do something. And then it starts to fly out of Miko's hand. It starts to re-res itself, and it turns into BITT Prime. This thing is a transformer. I'm going to put a transformer in the thumbnail now. It turns into BITT Prime. Now the thumbnail. Anyway, it says that they got in his way of his programming. He shoots Miko and Five with a beam. They start to freeze up midair, and they can't move, and it runs away. And then Bergie calls them back, and they're like, hey, what's going on? They're able to get out of like the slow-mo beam, and Miko's like, this is bad. We get close to BITT, use the EMP, de-res them into a cylinder. He made into like some self-defense mode. Now he's going crazy. If Phil finds out, and Phil is on the communication, oh, we're way past Phil finding out. I want to know one thing. Where's my bot? And then one of the little spawner monsters pop up behind Phil, and he just shoots it without even looking. I'm like, okay. That was nice. It pops up behind him. Phil just shoots it without even looking. Like, that was cool. So as we see, Five and Miko are walking around this neighborhood. Five is like, Miko, he said to stay put. Phil said to stay put. We are staying put. Well, looking for him. I wish our gauntlets were working. We could track him. We could track BITT. And then Five goes, I don't think we need to track him. He points, and it's like a whole ton of like animals and trash cans and stuff floating midair. Let's follow that. So they follow all like the floating thingies to a house. Walk inside the house, and BITT Prime is inside the kitchen, and he points his gun at them. They're like, whoa, hey, buddy, we're not going to stop you this time. We just want to help you. And he goes, okay, keep your distance. So he starts to poke at the fridge, like the ice cube maker and stuff. Miko's like, so we tell him that's a, refrigerator? The fridge, like, activates a protocol, and then all, like, the cabinets and stuff start to get replaced with computers, a bunch of different keyboards and stuff, like Men in Black, like, type on a computer. Like, imagine, like, my posters, like, get sworn away, then, like, guns pop out, or a computer or something, like high-tech stuff. They're like, whoa, this is crazy. And a main console pops up in the middle of the kitchen. So it says to put in the ingredients in order. That's what he does. And then it starts to activate something, and a bunch of cartridges pop up in the middle of the kitchen. And Five is like, wait, so this whole time he was going crazy getting these ingredients because of some game cartridges? And Miko's like, oh, that's cool, I want to play. So she walks into the kitchen, there's a little like, you know those like not actual lasers, but those like red laser things that you trip over and it activates an alarm. That happens, and a bunch of these drones pop out, and then Miko's like, "Oh my goodness, what's happening?" And Bit Prime is like, "I told you, keep your distance." And they finna shoot at them. Miko on 5 is like, "Whoa!" Bit tells them like, "We're good, we're friends." And then he goes, "This is not part of my programming. Don't help them." Then he jumps in the way of one of them shot at them. Jumps in the way, blocks it, disintegrates Bit's arm. He destroys it, and he goes, "This is me KO," and high five. They are GlitchTechs like employees. Please do not hurt them. And they're like, "Wow, he remembers us." He goes, "Yes, I remember you in my memory banks, but I can't override my programming." And Bit starts to disintegrate. There's 2 drones left, and they're finna shoot at them. Somebody shoots and kills them, and it's Phil. He goes, "Do you guys want to tell me what you're doing in my house?" And he deactivates the whole security thing. They're like, "This is your house?" It's nice. Anyway, he goes, "So, what in the world is happening?" They tried to explain to Phil what was happening, and he goes, "Okay, that made no sense. Let me just ask Bit." So he grabs the little cylinder. He turned to the cylinder, puts it in the main console. The Bit that we all know and love, the little thing pops back out, and he explains like, me, KO, and High Five were just going through my files, deleting what they can, and then this happened. And then they're like, "Yeah, see, Phil, like we told you, there was some weird file that made Bit run around looking for ingredients, and now that popped out." And he grabbed the cartridge, and Bit specifically says it was a hidden file. And Phil's like, "Hidden file? Hidden by who?" And Phil's like, "Wait, you didn't?" He goes, "What? What are you two still doing here? Go back to HQ and help Bergie clean up." And then Phil and Bit like hug, and then Phil's like, "Oh, you two look a little married. We're leaving." Then Miko and 5 both run out. The last scene of this episode is he's a really cool, nice shot of them saying "ah" when they hug. Last shot of this episode was Phil. He put the cartridge into a computer. It starts to upload a video file, and then we get to see young Phil. And he goes, "Hey, me, it's me." See, young Phil. He goes, "Hey, me, it's me." If you don't remember making this video, it probably means somebody wiped your memory. And as soon as he says that, you see Bit like looks at him. And he goes, "Yeah, the company tends to do that. You need to keep these files safe, Phil, because things might start to get glitchy." And Phil's like, "What?" And then we get like the Hanobi logo pop up on the screen, and then the credits. And that's the last episode of GlitchTechs so far. It hasn't been officially canceled, but it's on pause, and it's been on pause for a few years now. That's why I've been begging for them to pop up in the crossover games. Because Nickelodeon have been coming up with a lot of crossover games for the past few years. So my headcanon was like, hey, maybe if they actually put Miko or 5 or both of them in like a kart racer game or like All-Star Brawl 2 that's going to come out, they put them in there, the popularity might go up. Nickelodeon might finally see this show as a profit and then make another season. Because it's not canceled, it's on pause. I heard it was going to be on TV. The Nickelodeon said no. A bunch of stuff had to happen. They finally get it on Netflix. And then, man, like it's in like the 90s, the 80s all the time on Netflix. I don't know why. It's beautifully animated. And I don't know why Nickelodeon don't think this is a good show. It's really good. I really hope they do make a season 3. If they ever do, I'll be right back here making episode reviews. I already did season 1 and 2, so I might as well do 3 and 4. How many other seasons we have? Last week's episode, I didn't get to finish, but there was only like 2 minutes left. Basically, Mix, he said that he'll take some time off to spend some time with his family. And Miko's like, "Oh, is Phil going to be okay with his number one, prodigy taking time off?" And Mix is like, "Of course he will. Because I got you two as backup." That was sweet. That was really sweet. The next series I'm going to review is either going to be She-Ra and the Princess of Power or Danny Phantom. I can't decide. All week I've been like agonizing myself, like, which one should I do? Like, I don't know. I'm really thinking about this. I don't know. I don't have that many people actually watching my stuff or follow me to where I can do like a community poll and then actually get decent results to see what people want. I don't know. But I really hope this show gets renewed for another season or 2. How many? I hope people check it out. We used to really watch GlitchTechs. There was one more thing I wanted to mention before I end this video. So one day I was making a thumbnail and I was typing in for images and I realized the keyboard has me KO up there somewhere. So look at this. You see this? MKO. K. Oh, me KO. I mean, yeah, E is like way over here, so it's not me KO. But I was typing in looking for images, and I was like, dun, 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 what the MKO? I'm like, that's sort of like me KO GlitchTechs. That's kind of funny. It's not the exact thing because the E is way over here, but I'm like, Captain E, that's kind of stupid. I mean, yeah, that was stupid. Like even when I thought of that, I'm like, yeah, this is kind of dumb. But now every time when I type, I'm like, I just keep looking at that BK. I keep looking at that each time. That's pretty funny. But yeah, really good show. Hope you guys check it out. So, like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you all later. Thank you all for watching. I thank you all there for being wonderful human beings, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. All right.